forward into Athens, Georgia. Stegman Coliseum is the place in the final regular season meet for both these teams here this evening, as number 1 Oklahoma is set to take on number 9 Georgia here on the SEC Network. We welcome you inside the Stegman Coliseum. Caleb Brady Cat Hires, and final regular season meeting of the year for both these teams, looking to get good momentum going as you get into the SEC tournament next week.
They definitely are. These are two great teams. They both had very consistent seasons, and they're looking to carry that into tonight as well.
Let's talk first about Oklahoma. Audrey Davis, it kind of starts with her, the senior. I mean, I don't know what else you can say about her. So talented, one of the most decorated gymnasts in Oklahoma history.
She really is. A national champion last year. She has brought so much to this Oklahoma team, and she's continued it through to her 5th year. She's come back, and they are so glad she did. She's really led this team well.
9-9 or better in 60 of her 72 routines this year. Has never scored below a 9-8 in her career. I don't know how that's possible.
Honestly, it's insane. The fact that she has hit 99.5% of her routines, including the last 238 routines, I don't think I've ever seen or heard anything like that. So they are lucky and happy to have her on their team.
Meanwhile, for Georgia, Lily Smith, SEC Freshman of the Year last year, really starting to come into her own here in her sophomore season.
She really is. After her freshman year, she had a great freshman year, obviously SEC Freshman of the Year. But coming into her sophomore season, she knows the ropes. She's really kind of settled in and become a leader for this team, and you'll see that tonight.
Coming off a career best 9.975 on the floor against LSU last week, had a career high 9.95 on beam last time they were here in Stegman Coliseum, so she's really starting to put things together at the right time of the year.
She really is, and she's capable of some big scores, so that's awesome for her leading and coming into postseason.
We're senior night for Georgia here tonight in that final home meet of the year, and take a look at Coach Landy there for Georgia and co-head coach, and really Georgia continues to get better here in her first season overseeing the program.
They really do. They've got a lot of new faces in the coaching staff and in the athletes. So that's a challenge to come in with all new faces, and they've really been able to improve this program a lot in 1 year.
See Ryan Roberts there, his first season as co-head coach, but has been with the program a long time. A good continuity there, getting a voice that's been around, and then also a fresh set of eyes.
Definitely. He's had a couple years under his belt at Georgia, and then he was at Alabama prior, so he knows collegiate gymnastics. And then bringing in a coaching staff that he's had experience with on the elite level and in club gymnastics really helps to keep that cohesiveness with the coaching staff.
Absolutely. Getting set here for the final meet of the regular season for both these teams, and Oklahoma coming in here, top scoring program in the NCAA this season, and those road meets so important to that scoring to get a high score to set you up well for the postseason.
Exactly. Oklahoma's just looking to increase their NQS going into the SEC championship. It affects their seeding going into postseason, so they're looking to hit all of their routines and keep that consistency going that they've had all season.
And you heard NQS, your national qualifying score. Take your 6 highest scores, at least 3 from the road meets. So very important for Oklahoma in particular here tonight to drop that top one, average those 5. It's a little bit of a complex system, really rewards consistently high scores.
It really does. And you say consistency, you're going to hear that all night with Oklahoma. They really do exude that consistency in all of their gymnastics in every meet, not just this year, but really throughout the last 10 years. And so you'll see that exemplified tonight.
We are just about set to go here as Georgia will go to work on vault. You see the lineup here for the Dogs as Nia Howard gets things started.
Starting off with a Yurchenko layup pull. Very clean landing, a tiny hop. That vault starts from a 9.95, so she's already starting below the 10, so there will just be a small deduction on that small hop.
Look.
She gets great amplitude and height off of the table. Great start for Georgia.
Opportunity for sure there on vault for Georgia to get a good score and get this home meet started quickly. And Danny Sievers will go first on bars here for Oklahoma.
The goal for starting off with this first routine is to really set the tone for the lineup. Danny Sievers is a senior. She's got a career high of a 9.975, so she's capable of almost perfection on this event, and that's exactly how you want to start off the lineup, with a nice, clean hit routine to get that momentum started.
Her NQS here on the season, 40th in Division I with a 9.88.
first handstand. Beautiful releases. Moving very smoothly through this routine. You can see she's taking her time with those handstands. They're locked in right on top. Into the dismount. And a perfectly stuck routine. You can see that's exactly how they want to start off that lineup.
It was a season high, but 9.925 here on the bars. We'll see how that one gets things started here for the Sooners. That was a really good start.
It really was. Clean all throughout. Her releases were beautiful. Handstands right on top. There's not going to be much that the judges can take from that routine.
And final look here at the dismount.
Her chest is perfectly leveled, not far down. Her feet didn't move. It's exactly what they wanted to see for that first routine.
Free Scott for Georgia.
Another Yurchenko layout full. I would say that's a stick. I don't know. What do you say, Caleb?
I don't know. I didn't see any movement when she landed. That was really good. Georgia going back to back here with a really solid start on the ball.
And that's exactly what Coach Roberts said that they want to start off with is these landings on ball. They haven't quite had that throughout the season. They definitely have increased their difficulty throughout the lineup, but they're really working on those landings. And going into postseason, that's going to be crucial. So they really want to see those landings tonight.
One look from the backside there, and that was really well stuck.
Maybe a tiny shuffle.
Here's Lily Peterson for Oklahoma, second up on the bars.
Lily's been a very consistent freshman for the Sooners. She struggled right here last week, but had no problems this time around. Something that the judges are looking for on bars is those handstands right on top in Oklahoma and those stuck landings. And so far, they're 2 for 2.
Back to back, that's a good bounce back. You mentioned a little bit of a rough outing her last time out, 9.325 in Michigan.
Definitely, and that shows, as a freshman to come back and hit this routine, to gain that confidence back. She's been consistent all throughout the season. That was really uncharacteristic of her last year, so she was able to bounce back this week.
Nia Howard with the 9.8 there on that first vault. Jacob Hatchke will go now third on the vault for Georgia.
Hoping to continue those clean landings. The Yurchenko 1.5. She had a lot of power going to that vault. You can see how far away from the table she was, which is great. The judges love to see that. However, she was a little over-rotated, had to take a big hop out of that vault. Great block off the horse. You can see how high she gets. Just a little bit over-rotated. But still, that's a 10-0 start value for them, so that's great to have that higher score, higher start value.
Absolutely. We mentioned just how consistent this Oklahoma squad has been this year. I mean, those are ridiculous numbers.
They truly are. I mean, Oklahoma is exemplary. Every team in the SEC is happy to have them join the conference because they'll just raise the level of competition.
Madison Feta will go third here on bars for the Sooners.
Another freshman with some huge releases. Clean pirouette. Oklahoma, they have tons of talent on their team, and they've got a great number of freshmen that are competing, including Addison Feta. And you can see why. Very clean routine, very consistent. And Coach Kindler has said that those freshmen have contributed very consistent routines, which is not, you don't typically see that for freshmen, so it's very impressive for this class.
9.875 last time out on bars for her.
Beautiful form. Her legs are glued. Maybe just a tiny shuffle on that dismount, but they're still very clean landings so far for Oklahoma.
Nella Aquino.
She's got huge power into this Matsu, and she stuck that cold. You hear the crowd, you can see her excitement. She's been waiting for that landing.
That was really good.
It was, and she's got a unique ball in that she's a different entry than the normal Yurchenko. She starts from a 10.0. It's a very difficult ball, and she nailed it.
Really good control there at the end to kind of ease herself down and not shuffle.
Exactly.
Here's Oklahoma back on bars.
Another powerhouse for the Sooners.
Faith Torres here for Oklahoma.
You can see they have insanely clean lines. There's no form breaks. They're on top of their handstands. They've got those clean landings. Again, another stuck pole dismount. There's not much that you're able to take from these routines on Oklahoma.
No, they're not going to give you a ton of opportunities to deduct, and you see right here why.
Beautiful form all around. You can see why her career high is a 9975. Perfect. Honestly, I'm not sure what the judges will take on that.
There's Addie Wall, her vault MQS here on the season.
Another Yurchenko 1.5. Again, so much power, which is a good thing. The judges would rather see you over-rotate than under-rotate, but they're going to want to clean up those big steps heading into the postseason. So she gets a great walk off the table, but just want to see a little bit more control in that landing and absorb that.
Like so much, you'd rather have too much and you go rein that in versus, to your point, get punished for not having enough.
Exactly.
We're second in Division I.
We're in for a treat for this routine.
Audrey Davis.
Huge. The height that she gets on Matt Yeager is unbelievable. And just her form, her power, honestly, you don't typically use the word power on bars, but the power that she shows on this event is incredible. She hasn't yet scored a 10 this season. I know she's looking for that tiny shuffle on that dismount, so she won't get it tonight, but beautiful routine by Audrey Davis.
That was really, really good. You see why she is so decorated.
She is. The height. It's just her lines, her form is unmatched, and she can really attribute that to her coach, Brian Roberts, who is her club coach.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he wants to see her do well as well tonight. So great routine for Audrey.
There's Anaya Smith.
A lone senior for the Bulldogs. She was honored tonight for senior night. Another Yurchenko 1.5. That landing was better. It was definitely more controlled. She just had to move the 1 foot, so that will be less of a deduction than the others. She's still going to want to see more control, though, but that was a great vault for Anaya.
You mentioned the lone senior. Impressive what both these teams are doing with so many youngsters on the roster.
Definitely, and it just sets you up when your freshmen and underclassmen get more experience. It sets you up for those future teams as well.
Here is Jordan Bowers.
Another leader on this team. She has been perfect. Her career high is a 10.0. You just see the confidence that the Sooners have in their gymnastics. They trust their training. They trust how they've performed all year long. And they bring the same routine, same consistency week to week. Beautiful handstand. See if she can get that landing, and she does.
A lot of control there at the end. And a good finish.
This will be a big score for Oklahoma. Exactly how they wanted to start this meet with clean handstands, clean landings. Great first rotation.
Second look.
Beautiful full out. And their feet, they just have sticky feet tonight, and those are contagious, and you can see they've had it tonight.
We are exhibition now here at Cole King for Georgia, going exhibition on the fall.
The exhibitions are great because the gymnasts that have not made the lineup, they can still get that competition experience to increase your depth. Especially moving into postseason, you want to make sure that you have people in your back pocket in case something happens. And to have a 1.5 and 10 start value in your exhibition is great for the Bulldogs.
And you want to get that meet experience. It's one thing to do it at the another to do it with the lights on and folks sitting in the stands watching.
Definitely adds a whole new layer of pressure.
Caitlin Smith will go on exhibition here on bars for Oklahoma.
Handstand right on top. Beautiful below knee.
As you mentioned, Smith not cracking the lineup yet here this year, but valuable experience.
Tiny step, but overall very clean routine. A great exhibition that could be added to that lineup. It just continues to push the girls who are in the lineup as well to continue to be at their tip-top shape.
We'll go to break, and when we come up, we'll talk SEC standings here in the final regular season meeting for both these teams on Friday Night Lights.